Here's another top story we're following. Axios reporting the White House is putting the nation's largest oil and gas companies on notice, threatening to invoke emergency powers to increase the output. Administration sending a letter to the top oil execs saying in part, at a time of war, refinery profit margins well above normal being passed directly onto American families are not acceptable. The letter went on to say that Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm will soon be convening an emergency meeting. His plan. He's authorizing 45 million more barrels from the petroleum reserve. Then he's sending these letters out to the oil execs. Is this going to help lower the costs of gas?
No, Emma, it won't. And what these measures are, it's deflection from what's been a failed Biden policy, a failed policy from the Democrats on energy. Remember that Joe Biden in the Democratic primary debates was saying that he wanted to phase out hydrocarbons, meaning oil and natural gas. What that did is it drove down capital investment into things like refinery projects, pipelines, and so forth. Then, to compound this issue, when Biden took office, literally on day number one, he shut down the Keystone XL pipeline and several other pipelines across the United States. Other pipelines that were on tap to be built, those stopped because there was a fear that permitting would not be accepted. So why put in the capital investment? So additionally, stopping leasing on federal lands, slowing down and slow walking permits. This was caused by Joe Biden. Case in point, under President Trump, the United States was a net energy exporter. Quickly, under President Biden, we became reliant on foreign energy sources. It's absolutely unacceptable. And to try to shift blame on the private sector is a distraction. It's a deflection. The American people are too smart for that.
We've seen blame being placed on the private sector and also, of course, on Vladimir Putin. However, if you've been watching the prices, they did start increasing before Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But let's talk about where they stand right now, Congressman. It is at $5 on average here, $5.01 today. And it's up. Look at where it was January 21st, 2021, when he was sworn into office, $2.39 a gallon. So that is some major sticker shock there if you just want to fill up your tank and go about your daily life. Democrats in Congress, both in the House and the Senate, they've got some solutions for you, and also the Energy Secretary. And perhaps it has to do with the type of vehicle you're driving. Let's listen.
My Chevy Bolt is terrific, made at the Lake Orion plant in Michigan, affordable, union labor, and I'm so proud to have an opportunity to be able to support Michigan workers.
You filled up your EV by charging, and you filled up your gas tank with gasoline, and you have the same size tank, you would save $60 per fill up by going electric rather than using gasoline. So it's a very compelling case.
Electric vehicles is the solution. Is that realistic?
Well, no, not for everyday Americans. You know, it's amazing. Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake. Secretary Granholm is basically saying, let them eat Prius. It's an elitist position that is totally tone deaf with the American people. To afford a Tesla, for example, most people have to be making well over $100,000 a year to afford the Tesla. Also, you have to retrofit your house to get extra lines in to power the electric vehicle. This may be an option if you're an affluent, woke yuppie. This is not an option if you're an average American that's actually working for a living. And just two quick points. It's amazing how the Democrats are now worried about gas prices, because for years, actually dating back to the days when I was in college, the Democrats were saying if only gasoline were $4 or $5 a gallon, we could help speed the transition off hydrocarbons. This has been their goal for about 20 years. Additionally, the Democratic base does not care about this. If you're a yuppie sitting on Zoom all day, you don't have to go outside or get in your car for any reason, you don't get affected by these gas prices. But if you're somebody who if you're a guy that has to swing a hammer for a living and get to a job site, if you're a woman who's working in a small diner, you have to drive to your shift. If you're a police officer, if you're a nurse and you've got to go into a hospital or police station, this affects you. That's not the Democratic base. That's our base. And it's why Republicans care about these gas prices. Democrats might wink and nod, but at the end of the day, they think this is going to usher in this transformation in American energy, and they're quietly cheering the high energy price.
Well, we heard from the climate czar, John Kerry, he said yesterday, no, we don't need to do more drilling. So that's definitely where he stands on the matter. Congressman Guy Reschenthaler sharing with our viewers where you stand. We appreciate it, sir. Thanks for coming on today.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.